morning to everyone present here. I am Araj Acharya from Grade 9. Here to talk about the book Doggy Bird. It is written by Louis Lowry. And today I am here to talk about chapter 1. So, this story is about a place where they live in a community where there is no pain, hunger, and everything is peaceful. There is no war in that country, but they have to follow rules that are made. And there is a character named Jonas, who is the main character of the story, and the story begins like this. December is approaching, and Jonas is feeling very frightened. But he is always thinking about the words that he has to say, and he says that no, the word frightened is wrong for what I am feeling. And he remembers that frightened means when you are very scared, and he remembers his past 1 year ago when he saw a fighter jet plane approaching a community, and the whole community was scared because of the fighter jet, because they thought that war was about to break out, and everybody was told to hide in their houses. And Jonas was alone at that time. He was playing in the community, and he was hiding in a shelter. And after that, everybody was frightened, and everybody was frightened because they had never seen a community so silent in many years, and the community was very lively every time. But after the fighter jet approached, the community was very silent. And then soon, a second later, the speaker of the community says that it was just a pilot that was learning how to ride a plane, and he had mistakenly flown over the community. And again we'll come back to the present, where Jonas is always thinking about how he should describe his words. And we are introduced to his friend named Asher, who is very different than Jonas. Asher always says whatever words and puts it together and turns it into a statement, where Jonas always thinks about words and puts it into a statement. And one day at school, Asher comes very late, and the teacher is making say an apology letter, and everybody starts laughing because Asher used to always say apology letters because he used to always come late, and nobody used to hear his apology letters because he used to put words together that didn't match at all. And after the embarrassment that Asher faced, they go back to the class, and Asher goes in front of the class and says, "Sorry everybody because of my inconvenience," and everybody smiles and says, "It's no worry, Asher, things like this happen." And when after that Jonas is going to his home, and he's still thinking about the word, how he should describe how he's feeling. And at his home, they always spend their evening time by sitting at the dinner table talking about their feelings, what happened that day. And always Jonas and his little sister always fight over taking turns who will go first by sharing their feelings. But today Jonas is feeling very sad, and he lets his sister go first. And his sister says that she's feeling very angry today because at a child care center, people from the another community were not following the rules, and they were breaking the line, which made her very angry. But her father and mother told her that people that come from different communities have different rules, and that rules don't match with your community, that doesn't mean that you should be angry upon them. And Jonas also explains to his sister that being angry over people is not the right thing. And people that come from another community have different rules, and they don't understand the rules of your community. And his mother says that, have you ever been to a different community? And Lily says, yes, I have been to a community. And her mother asks, how did it feel like? And she says, I felt very scared because the other community knew a lot than we did, and they had different rules. And our mother says, yeah, the same thing happened today. When the another community came to your child care center, they didn't understand the rules, and they were very scared, so they were breaking the rules. And you should not be angry upon them. And after Lily says about the feelings, her father starts telling about his feelings. His father is a nurturer which works on the physical and emotional betterment of new children, and he talks about how at his job there was a very small child, a boy child, which was very sick, and he couldn't. He was not growing as he should, and he was very sad that he was about to be released from the community. Released from the community means he was about to get kicked out from the community because he was not. And after that, growing up very well, and after that, his mother starts speaking and says that she works in the chief of justice department of the community, and she says that there are a lot of people that don't follow the rules and still are living outside in our community that should be monitored very heavily. But she also understands that people that don't follow the rules should be given after everybody says their feelings. The chapter comes to an end while Jonas finds the right word for his feeling, and the word was apprehensive feeling. And after that, the chapter ends, and the story moves on to the chapter 2. The chapter 1 was very nice, and we got to experience all of the characters' feelings and get introduced to them. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is B.S. Coherently, and I'm sitting in front of you to give the review of the first chapter of the book To Kill a Mockingbird, which was written by Harper Lee. The book has over 30 million copies and is sold worldwide. So let's start about the chapter 1. In the chapter 1, the book really only states the character's introduction to the town. The town's name is Maycomb, and it is a very old town, but it is very slow and dry old town. It is very tiring old town. There is in summer it is very hot, and the book is very humorous, but I am not humorous, so I can't explain how. And so in the main character in the book is Scout. For the first chapter is in the perspective of Scout Finch. She is the main character, and she has an older brother, like 4 to 5 years older, Jim Finch, and their father Atticus Finch. The mother of the Scout and Jim died during when Scout was only 2 weeks old. Now Atticus Finch is a lawyer, and Jim Finch once broke his hand when he was playing football, and his one arm is shorter than the other, and he was very scared that he could not play football after the incident. And years after, when the Scout asked about the incident, Jim just said, I think it was one of my friends, but later on came to a conclusion it was Dill because of Dill. And now Dill is the fourth character which is introduced in the book. And Dill is their neighbor they used to play with, and Dill comes from a poor family. And in Maycomb, Dill comes to visit his aunt. And there is a lot of conversations going on in the book, and it's just conversations, but the main part of the first chapter is they go to visit Boo Radley's house. Now Boo Radley's house in Maycomb is like a very old house, and they believe in the book it is haunted. Now Dill gives the idea to Jim and Scout that why not visit and bring Boo Radley out. Nobody has ever seen him anyways, and Jim decides to do it, and I suppose that's how his arm is broken, but it is not clarified in the first chapter. It is continued in the second chapter. In the first chapter, it is only stated that Jim, Scout, and Dill visit Boo Radley's house, and just how they did it, and a lot of conversation is going on. That's it.
Thank you.
Good morning to everyone present. I am Risha Sivedi here to share the summary of the book, Chapter 1, Lord of Light, written by William Corning. It is the book in which the plane crashes on a desert island, and the only survivors are the group of school boys. So in Chapter 1, we see 2 boys. At first we see 2 boys, Ralph and Piggy. Ralph is a boy who had fair hair and was long, but Piggy was a boy who was fat and who used to wear glasses. They too were the survivors in the plane crash. Ralph was excited because he wanted to leave where there were no grown-ups. But Piggy had known that how bad situation they are in. So Piggy was not that excited, and he was a bit scared. So they decided to find a way to come out of the desert island. So they two went in a beach in a lagoon. They found a sail in the ocean. Ralph took out the sail from the ocean, and they thought that sail can help them find out other survivors. So Ralph Ralph blew the cell to find out the other survivors because Piggy had asthma, so he couldn't blow the cell. After Ralph blew the cell, other survivors also come there. So and a group of people who used to wear black also came there, and the leader was Jack. Jack, and Jack asked Ralph, "Who was the man with the trumpet?" Ralph explains that there is no man with the trumpet, and it was him who blew the cell to call all the survivors. So they all decided to take place an election because there were no grown-ups over there, and they decided to make a head or a chief. So the two candidates were Ralph and Jack. So everybody voted for Ralph because he was the one who called everybody together by blowing the cell. So Ralph became the captain or became the chief. After Ralph became the chief, the first thing he did is to find out whether it's an island or not. So Ralph took Simon and Jack with him to find out whether it's an island or not. They climbed many mountains, rocks, and at last they found out that it's an island. And this is the end of chapter 1. And chapter 1 ends here, and other story continues in chapter 2. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am asked to take here to review Cole's book written by Louis Thatcher, chapter 1. So, and it is a thrilling book which I loved it. And in chapter 1, there is no character given, and it is said about the green camp lake. In this, the camper said there is no lake there, but there used to be a lake 100 years ago. It was a huge lake in the Texas, but now it's just a wasteland. In summer, the wasteland, the temperature used to go to up to 95 degrees. So that's why that was the very dangerous spot for camping. In the wasteland, there is no any shades or anything. There is a shades in eastern side of the lake, where the shade is owned by a warden. In that shade, many rat snakes and scorpions are found. And they used to live in the holes which camper used to dig. It is said that it is good to be bitten by rattlesnake or scorpion because the campers used to rest them in the tent for 2-3 days more. But if you get bitten by yellow spotted lizard, then you die in pain. You die slowly and painfully, and nobody cannot do anything with it because it was a wasteland and nobody wants to come. And this is the end of the chapter.
Everyone present here, I am Fahim Sappada, and I am going to tell the chapter 2 of this book called The Holes, which is written by Louis Thatcher. So my friend R.C. Khan already told chapter 1, so I'm going to give a little brief explanation about chapter 1. So in chapter 1, there is a lake called Green Camp Lake. So in the lake there was no lake. Before many years there used to be lake. It was very green. And now I'll explain chapter 2. In chapter 2, reader is probably asking, why would anyone go to the Camp Green Lake? But the campers weren't given a choice. This camp is for bad boys. The judge said if a bad boy is taken to the Camp Green Lake and dig a hole every day in the sun, they'll turn into a good boy. So there is a character here called Stanley Yelnuts. The judge, he was given a choice. The choice was he may go to a jail or a Camp Green Lake. Stanley Yelnuts was a very poor family, came from a very poor family. He had never been to Camp Green Lake before, so he decided to go there. So chapter 2 ends there. I hope you like it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. name is Janisa. I am here to review chapter 2 of the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So the chapter begins as September has already arrived and Bill returns back to Mecum, Meridian of Mecum, and Scout is way more distracted uh, from this leaving because she is going to begin school from her first day of school from the other day. So as she gets to school the next day, she does not start off good with her class teacher, who is Caroline Fisher. Caroline Fisher makes Scout feel guilty that she already knows how to read. So as they have already started wrong, in the noon during lunchtime, a kid named Walter forgot to bring his lunch, and Caroline Fisher, she agreed to give him $1 so Walter could get his lunch. But Scout knows that Walter is very poor and his family would not be able to give back the $1 that he was provided with. And Scout tries to explain this to Miss Caroline because Walter would not be able to pay back, and she explains how Atticus, her father, as a lawyer, Walter's parents provide vegetables as turnips for money so that Atticus could fight their cases, etc. While Miss Caroline gets nervous, she gets frustrated, and she hits Scout with a ruler. So that's how the
Good morning, everyone. I am Manju Chaudhary, and I am going to talk about the infographic novel Police. I am going to talk about the Police books, chapter 2. The chapter 2 is the title of chapter 2 is The Bicycle. In this chapter, the writer says her faith is unshakable and she needs to she decides to take her prophetic journey aside for a while and wants to go to the revolution. Due to with her friends, she does the revolution in her garden. After 2,500 years, the revolution has finally awakened the people, and the 2,500 years of honesty and precision, as the writer's father said. The writer needs books to enlighten her because she read a lot of books. She knew about the children of Palestine and the Vietnamese children that got hurted by the Americans, got hurt by the Americans. She knew all about the Fidel Castro. Our favorite book was the book in which Marx and Castro talked. Marx said that everything is an imagination. Therefore, so Castro showed a stone and said, "So this is an imagination." When Marx said, "Yes, it is an imagination," so Castro threw the stone at his head and said, "This is not an imagination." You see, the writer thought of that Marx and God look alike, but Marx and God here. So God arrived and said, do you not want to be a prophet anymore? She said, "I'm going to talk about another topic." God said, so you think I look like Marx? She then again said, "I want to talk about another topic." Then the God said, "Tomorrow the weather will be fine." She could not say anything. So the God said, "There will be 75 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow." 75 Fahrenheit. But she said to God and heard her mother and father talking about the red cinema being born, and the police, and they blocked the red cinema, and the police came and did not let any people rescue them.
the firefighters came 40 minutes late, and the BBC News said that the 400 people were killed due to the fire, and the SAR said that it was a little bit late to save them, but all the people knew it was SAR's fault. So the people, so tomorrow the father and mother wanted to go to the exhibition, and so the little girl, so she asked her mother and father, but they did not agree, and talked her into bed, and the God said, and she could not find the God there.
Good morning everyone, I am Aditya Bathak, here to summarize Chapter 2, Fire on the Mountains of Lord of the Flies by William Golding. In Chapter 2, Ralph and his other friends were stuck in the island. Everyone has got tasks to do something. Ralph and his one friend had got the task to explore the hills. Once they reached at the top of the hill, they burned the wood so that the people would know that they were there, so they could get a help. Then they saw the habitats, foods and animals which were there. They killed pigs for the food, and also they were also worried about that they were not getting help from anyone near.
My name is Mohammed Bali. Today I am going to read Chapter 2 of the title and the book. It's written by Khalid Hosseini. In Chapter 2, Amir's first name was Hosseini. Hosseini was only the friend of Amir. Only one friend of Amir. Hosseini was very kind and helpful to his friend. His friend takes blame on him when Amir do any mistake. In this chapter, Amir has shown how his lifestyle his life of Chinese, and his Baba has constructed a very biggest house of the city, and in this chapter, the Amir goes to garden and take a Amir goes to garden and climb the trees, and Hassan takes the blame. And
Good morning to everyone present here. My name is Adarsh Panta from class 9 Manasri to explain about the book named Holes. This book is written by Louis Suffer and reviewed by Mallory Blackman. Chapter 3 starts from Stanley Ellis was Stanley Ellis was only the passenger on the bus with a guard and a driver. The guard was sitting next side to the driver. He had a rifle next laid to his lap. Stanley Ellis was punished because he was because he was punished because he was punished accused of stealing, which he had not did. Which he had not done. He was a good kid, but because of his great grandfather, he had got punished. He had
two choices to go at prison and go to Camp Green Lake. He told he would go to Camp Green Lake. He was sent to Camp Green Lake with a guard. After a few moments, there was a bumpy road, and the driver had said, "Welcome to Camp Green Lake." He could hardly see anything from the window. There was no lake, and there was no signs of green.
Morning to everyone. I am Melis Lepane from grade 9 Manaslu here to give you a short review on the book To Kill a Mockingbird. It is written by Harper Lee. And short recap from chapter 2, we know that Walter belongs from a poor family, and one day he forgot to bring his lunchbox at school. And his teacher, Miss Caroline, gave him $1 to have some lunch and said him to return it back the next day. Then Scout came to the teacher and said he belongs from a poor family, he may not be able to give your money back. Then the teacher got frustrated and hit on her hand with a scale. Now the main chapter 3 starts where Scout is angry with Walter because he got in trouble because of him. And she rubbed Walter's nose on the dirt, and suddenly Zane intervenes in between and take both of them for lunch. And Walter and appeared in between and take both Scout and Walter in the Fringe house for lunch. And Walter and Scout's father Atticus started talking about farming and agriculture. Then suddenly Walter put some dirt in Atticus' food, and the Scout saw Walter doing this thing, and he got panicked and scolded Walter, and then the lunch lady called him to the kitchen and called her to the kitchen and started scolding her